listening to Beyond Cheaters, the Detective Gomez Files. And now, here is Detective Gomez.
Now, Clarabeth, you're great at decorating and things like that.
Love it.
And so let's talk a little bit about the Lone Star Mansion.
My gosh, the wedding
I've
venue.
seen. I haven't been there yet, but I've seen photographs of it. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Let's talk about where it's at, what it offers. This is another one of your side little projects that you work on.
Yes, it's my happy place.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Honestly.
Tell me a little about the Lone Star Mansion.
Lone Star Mansion. There's if you go to the webpage, which is LoneStarMansion.com, this mansion, it's an old plantation home.
Mm-hmm.
And the history on this house is quite interesting. The house originated in the 1800s in Mississippi. So when this house was starting to come down, the owners took bits and pieces of the house. They came to Texas and built the replica of this plantation home.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot in the house that's still the original home. The molding is original. There's wood floor. That's the original. Some of the doors and the glass is original. There's so much in that house that I just did not want to change because there's so much history there. So Lone Star is a beautiful wedding fairy tale venue. For anybody, quinceañeras,
Okay.
We get a lot of quinceañeras. We get a lot of high-end weddings. I get people from New York that come in. We're starting to get that I'm going to marry myself wedding where the girl basically is saying, I'm done. I'm going to marry myself. So we're starting to get some of that, which is interesting. But yeah, so
and the quinceañeras is now it's such a it's big. It's not just a typical little band and type thing. Now they got robots and all kinds of stuff going on. And
I've never seen.
And the parents are willing to spend the money.
I mean, we get some parents where they'll come in together and the dad comes in, doesn't say a word, but the daughter says, "Well, I really want to have a carriage. I want to have a horse." Done. I mean, it's just it's amazing. Yeah, they grow up to they grow into they're born into it. And these families spend their whole life preparing for this day.
Yeah. So
it's quite interesting to see.
Yeah, it's big. It's big. Mind the weddings. I've seen some of the weddings.
And the dresses are beautiful, which, by the way, we are building. We've got brides and girls. It's our new boutique. And so we're building it, putting it actually on the property. So the girls will actually be able to come and see these dresses that are coming from Guadalajara, different parts of Mexico, and they're gorgeous pieces.
And it's something that they can purchase there.
And they can purchase with us.
Oh,
they can have their event there, yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah. We do get some people that, Lone Star is a high-end venue. We do get people in there that are on a budget. But I tell people, you know what? It's not even about the budget. It's about giving that little girl what she wants and let us make it happen.
Or making that wedding special.
Absolutely.
That one day, do it.
Now the weddings are interesting because they're very high-end weddings.
Yeah.
So I do a lot with the brides, and I get a lot of bridezillas.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. You get a lot of bridezillas in there. They go, it's got to be this way, this way, this way. And
I got to get out of that mentality of that adjuster and know that I'm dealing with a bride.
Right, because Miss Hernandez, I want this, and you go.
And they're very picky. Sometimes I walk around and feel like 𝐤𝐿, the wedding planner, because if a nail pops up, I got to figure it out.
Yeah, on the spot. Yeah.
If an eyelash falls, I got to pull out mine or take mine off.
Well, and it could be something simple. I think you mention a story like there was something you had to climb up on a ladder or something like that at once.
Yeah, we had a bride that. This was an interesting one. It was a Muslim wedding, and what's interesting about the Muslim weddings is that the women cannot be where the men are at, and the men cannot be where the women are at. So our second floor is, the mansion is designed to. The second floor is usually just for the girls, so that wasn't a problem. The problem was we had a wasp in the bridal suite. And so we called my guy, Juan, who actually, lives on the premises, nice guy. And I'm like on my little walkie-talkie because we all walk around with walkie-talkies. And I'm like, Juan, I need you up in the bridal suite. We've got a wasp, blah, blah, blah. So he says, no problema. I'm there. Estoy. Ahorita voy. Okay. So, and then I tell Fabiola, my partner in the venue, about it. She's like, oh, no, we can't go up there. She's like, it's only women. You can't do. And so I'm like, Okay, so of course my
You're the only female, right?
yeah. So I run to storage. I get all these spray bottles. I get the ladder. I go over there. I climb up the ladder. I'm trying to catch this stupid wasp, and I'm sitting here going, "This is nuts." But you know what? You do what you have to do to make these days this day special for them.
And that was the only thing that was bothering her, right? That little wasp flying around.
Little tiny wasp, and which, by the way, I got to add, she was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Those women from other
they dress it up.
They dress it up, and they're just gorgeous women.
And they'll spend the money.
And they will spend the money. We have a helicopter pad, and this gets used a lot. So if you have somebody that wants to fly in, bring their bride in, we have it. We accommodate it, and we're probably the only venue that I know of at this point that actually has a helicopter pad out there.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
They're very nice to see.
So that keeps you busy, right?
Keeps me busy. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In my happy place.
And let's talk about the beast in you for a second, okay? You have a new website out. It's called the Couture Beast.
Couture Beast.
Let's talk about the name. Where'd the name come from? Let's talk about that first.
Actually,
because when you first came out with him, I said, Beast. I said, wow. I like that.
Well, me and my daughter Jessica were talking about she's building her home, and she asked if she could come stay, for a couple of months with us until her house gets done. Mm-hmm. And so we're moving her stuff in. I've got 3 closets that are full because I'm a hoarder when it comes to designer stuff. Okay. I love vintage, So she comes in and she's like, "Mom, there is nowhere to put my stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll just move my stuff out, blah, blah." So we go upstairs. She opens up the middle closet, and a huge suitcase comes from. She's just like, "Mom, seriously." So anyway, I told her, she says, "You got to get rid of this stuff, Mom. You're not even using it." And I'm like, I think what it is that as a child growing up, I never had these things.
Right.
And so I just, when I got my first Gucci, Dr. Shiva Shervani had bought it for me. This was so many years ago. And I hope she's not listening to this. I'm sure she is. But anyway, so I from that day, it was such a good feeling to have something that I've always dreamed of, is to have my own first Gucci. And so anyway, that's where that all started. I started hoarding and that sort of thing. So when Jake came in, I utilized her because she's very savvy. She owns Mod Lab salons, and she has a lot of followers out there, and she's like, "Mom, let me help you. We can get this stuff cleared out because I need to get my stuff in."
Yeah.
And so I said,
stuff.
"Okay, yeah,
lots of stuff."
Yeah. So we took all of my stuff down. We stuffed it into the rooms, and here we had all these suitcases. And to make a long story short, she opened up the website. And she says, "We got to come up with a name. What do you think, Mom? Blah blah." And I'm like, "Well, I love couture, because I love designer stuff, And so she goes, "Yeah, but you're such a beast at it." And I'm like, she says, "Oh my God, we're going to call it Couture Beast." So the whole purpose of Couture Beast was my heart goes out to the everyday working girl who works so hard. And, we want to get to that point. Society has made it so difficult for a lot of people.
Right. It really has.
Especially for women. You see it on, social media, Facebook, Instagram, glamour magazines. And so I told Jake says, "Well, let's not take it to a consignment because you're not going to get enough for it.
You're not going to get your money's worth out of it."
And so I said, "Well, let's give this a shot." So we loaded everything up. We went to a consignment. I didn't sell it. I just said, "Tell me what you're going to give me for it." So they told me, and then so me and Jake get back in the car with our stuff, loaded with our stuff. And she says, "Mom, we got to figure this out." So sure enough, we get onto Google. We start researching what the real is selling it for, what you can pay for it on eBay, what the actual cost was for the purse, and then we kind of go there and go a little bit lower. And we do that so that way, though, that girl, that's the one girl I'm focusing on, is that one girl who works so hard, who would really, really love to have a Gucci bag. And so I feel like I'm putting my gems into someone else's closet, and that really makes me feel good. It really does.
No, what I've seen the site, and it's you add music to it.
Kinds of stuff.
You always change you change the photographs up a couple times, but you also mentioned something that every piece on there has a special place in your heart. Because there's a reason why you bought each particular piece.
Absolutely, it all has a story.
Exactly. So is there anything you can right off the top of your head say, "You know what, I'll let these go, but this was given to me, or I bought this because of this reason? Anything that you can, off the top of your head, you can say?
You know what? I have been personalizing when I go to package it up.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, I was wrapping it with special wrapping and stuff like that, but I'm so busy. So I decided just to write a letter, or a little, note. And so what I've been doing is when I pick out what purse I want, I think about this purse, and I think about, the first time I got it, and, the places I wore it to. So, I will write a little note saying, this looks great with skinnies and some red heels. Enjoy it, babe. Couture Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's just personalizing it.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Something coming from you, because anytime somebody buys something special like a Gucci purse, or whatever it may be that you have purchased in the past, it's always good to know there's the history behind it.
Yeah.
And I think that sticks with them, like, hey, I got this with Claire, but she wears a Monaco or something like that, or whatever, but just knowing that they have something, a memory of you that'll last forever. Because I've seen, when you're packaging the gifts, go, okay, ladies, here it comes, here comes your stuff, you're gonna love this, so, and you're constantly putting items up on a weekly basis, right?
Yeah, we try to shoot every week, post every
Something.
week. I just recently hired a young lady, Gracie, who's here with me today, to be kind of helping me, with what I'm doing, juggling around right now. So she's been helping me. We've been pulling out stuff, and my daughter Jessica says I'm out of control because now I'm buying it, and a week later I'm like, I don't think I'll use this again. She's like, Mom, you paid too much for that.
I wore it for one time. I don't want it anymore. It looked great one time. Yeah. And then the other thing is, what I've noticed also is that every time I look at your site, something will be up for like 5 minutes, it's gone, out of stock.
Oh my God! I mean, Gracie will even tell you. We posted a fanny pack, and I swear, within 20 minutes, it was gone. But with Jessica, we've noticed in the very beginning, we would post it, like we slammed the webpage with, I don't know, like 15, 20 items. And they were all gone within a 45-minute period.
Wow.
And I think what it is, because one of the girls that came in for an interview that was interviewing for Couture Beast, she walks in with a Prada purse, and she's like, I bought this from you. And I was like, oh my God, you're one of my couture girls. And she's like, yeah. And I told her, I said, and for me, it's just out of curiosity. So why did you go with this particular piece? I mean, there were a couple other ones. Right. And she's like, because I've followed you over the years on Facebook and Instagram, and this isn't a knockoff. And I said, no, it's not.
It's a real deal.
It's a real deal. And if I do have, because I do have some pieces that I got to say I purchased that, like little bracelets or stuff like that, but I will always put it on that page if it is, it was purchased from here. And it was like, I got a lot of local people in Playa. I've got this one mother who does designer bracelets, but she beads them. Okay. And so I'll always put that stuff because hey, it's not fair.
Right. No, you gotta be honest.
It's actually kind of mean.
well, and the good thing about you, and I know this for sure, because everything you buy is real. Okay.
Yes,
I do. Nothing fake. So, and people know that they do buy a Prada purse from you. It's a Prada purse.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to buy something online from a website that you know nothing about.
Yeah.
But if Clarabeth wore it, it's the real deal. That's the real deal. There's no knockoffs here. So whatever you see me wearing, purse, whatever it is, it's the real deal.
And I will say, I really do appreciate my Couture Beast girls, because I was talking about this the other day with a friend of mine, and I was telling them I've been so busy I haven't had time to actually spend anything on what's coming in. So I took one day and decided to go to Chanel, and I bought this beautiful little purse, and I thought to myself, this one is going to be a special one because it's going to be the reason I bought it was because of Couture Beast. So I really, really do hope that these girls know that these pieces are very close to my heart. And I hope they continue to follow us. And, I will continue to post because, you know what, I want everybody to have one of these gems. I think they're very special to me.
And they're all different, whether it's glasses, shoes, tennis shoes that say Gucci on them, or purses, or
and they're in good condition.
Jackets. And everything, it's not like it's worn out or anything. Nope. It's not like it's everything you good. And you take care of also.
I take really good care of it.
You take care of it, and it looks good. And it's like, I've seen you put I saw some sneakers the other day for, I forgot what it might have been Gucci sneakers, I think. And but it was, and it's not just the basic, it's the high end or a special edition type of purse.
A lot of them are collector pieces.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I've had my guy, Richard Garcia, I believe is his last name, from Gucci. He's been with me for years. And he calls me up and says, Clarabeth, what the hell? Why are you selling that at that price? I tell them, well, we'll get together on Saturday. I'll explain.
Talk about that later. No, but like I said, so if you're looking for a piece for your girlfriend, husband, wife, man, whatever, she sells, and she sells a couple of guy things on her. I've seen a couple of guy things on her, but most of it's females.
Yeah, most of it is female. But Juan won't let me touch his stuff, and I don't think there's that many designer stuff because he's very conservative. So he has been a little uptight on what's going on to that page. He's like, that's why you couldn't pay the electricity. So yeah,
that is funny, but I enjoy watching the page and watching you ship everything out, and I think it's really important that people understand that what you're selling is quality items. A lot of it's collector's pieces, and that also that they're getting the real deal because you see. Sadly saying, and especially on the internet, and you buy stuff from certain sites, you don't ever know if it's real or not.
Oh my God, Mexico! I mean, you see it all on Fifth Street. Yeah. They're selling knockoff Louis Vuitton, and they look real. They look real, but
until you touch it.
Until you touch it, or you open it, it's got a weird smell to it. Yeah. I got a friend of mine, which, by the way, talking about Couture Beast, I've actually been contacted by several people asking me if I could post or if they could give me their stuff and let me sell it on Couture Beast. And I will say this, I'm trying to get through my stuff first, but the plan is to open it up for other friends of ours that, I'm friends with a lot of lawyers' wives, doctors' wives, and these women are hoarders too. And so, and it's just sitting there, and I told them, listen, we're going to have a party one of these days. You guys all bring your stuff. We're going to post it and see how fast it goes. And at the end of the day, we're going shopping.
Yeah. Well, and when you first put up your site, things were just buying like crazy. It was
just rolling.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
And also, people can subscribe to your website.
They can.
And keep up to date. So when you do post something new, they get notified.
I send teasers. So on Facebook, I'll put, coming soon.
It's coming soon.
On Instagram, I'll put coming soon, or I'll do a TikTok or something. And this keeps people interested in that page all day long.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good
stuff.
It is. All right. So let's move on a little bit. Let's get on to what's going on in Mexico.
Oh,
Playa. Tell us about the properties out there.
Okay.
I know you love going to Mexico.
I love Mexico.
You love going out there, recharging a little bit. But you also have some properties out there, right? Yeah. That you rent also, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I was a little hesitant in the beginning. This was 16 years ago when we opened up. We built a home up there. There was reasons why we did it, but I was a little hesitant about it because, I grew up in a small town, Hereford, Texas, and my mom and dad, they sheltered us a lot.
It's in West Texas?
It's 45 minutes from Amarillo.
Okay.
And, of course, we had never been out of the state of Texas. So when I married this Mexican...
this Mexican guy...
he's taken me all over the world. But the interesting thing about Playa is that 15 years ago when we jumped in, we were using Playa as a vacation place just to get away to,
right.
and so we started getting hit up from a lot of marketing companies, luxury retreats, all that kind of stuff, and so we decided after 2 years to put it on the market for vacation rental.
Okay,
and that's what we did, and so it all started with Quinta Clara, which you can go to mylux.com, which is the safe one. I don't know about Airbnb. We've been seeing a lot of crap on that.
Yeah.
But so mylux.com, you can go into that page and look up Quinta Clara, and it will take you directly to our home. This house is a 10,000 square footage home. It's fully equipped. We've got a chef. We've got staff. We've got beach crew. Transportation from the airport and back. And so after 2 years, when we put this on the market, we couldn't even stay there anymore because it was so rented out.
Wow.
We couldn't even get on the calendar. And at this point, I was just telling Gracie this the other day, it's been 2 years that we have not been able to stay there because that's how packed it is. So in between that time, we've gotten some other offers. We went ahead and bought 25 condos at a resort. It's called Corazol, and it's coming into the entrance of Playa. We've got 25 condos in that resort, which is Nick Price, Lorena, and Maria Azul. Maria Azul is my favorite because it's closer to the beach. It's on the beach. We just opened up a beach club there, and we also have our other beach restaurant, which is also there. But we're partners.
So you're partners with somebody else?
Yes, we are partners with another. It originally was partners that friends of ours from Dallas, and then once we started getting into this resort thing, we ended up being partners with another group, which is actually a bigger group.
Okay.
And so what ended up happening was in this process, which has just been the past year, we've been trying to close on 400 acres in Bacalar to build a boutique hotel. And
Nice.
so we just finished that. So now we're working on the construction in Bacalar. And that I'm really excited about because I'm going to be able to work with the design and how we're going to structure this. We're thinking about putting a wedding gazebo out there for jungle weddings. So I'm even more excited about it.
Yeah, that's
walk down the aisle with a monkey, you know?
Yeah. You make it happen. Now, Claire, so you got quite a few things going on, right? Obviously. Now how just being yourself, how do you handle all this? How do you change channels daily? Because you got Mexico, you got Couture Beast, you got your husband, Mr. Juan Hernandez. He needs a little attention, and so you got all these things going.
Yeah.
How do you keep it together? You
know what? I think as a child, I think I was just wired that way. My mom and my dad, they were hard workers. My mother was a DJ. She was the first DJ in. Or
is it just the beast in you?
Well, yeah, it's got to be the beast too. So I think it's just we're wired that way. And
right.
And the other thing is that the good thing is that everything that we do, we've done it from our heart. We've done it right. So I get really good sleep at night. I really do. I make sure, and people will tell you that know me very well, especially my friends in Playa. We can be at a party or a club or something. I'm out the door at 9:00. And I even have a reminder on my phone that reminds me it's 9:00. I go to bed, and I am in bed really early. Before I go to bed, I turn on my chat on Facebook. So if you ever want to chat with me, go on at 9:00 because I'm looking and I'm talking to people. So I always try to end my day with being more sociable with people and connecting with people. Okay. And that way the next morning I'm ready to go again. But I'll be honest, in the past 25 years that me and Juan have been married, this is the most interesting thing about Juan is that he knows how to move stuff around. And so when we got married, we had that 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan.
Right. And
we stuck strictly to that plan, dragging our kids along with us. And that's why I think our kids are pretty stable. So for me, and for Juan, it's been about that plan. And so at a very early time in our marriage, we started investing into annuities and all that other stuff. So every time we come up with a new project, we get in there, we throw ourselves in there. And if it's not pumping, it's not working after 5 years, we shut it down. It's that quick. But we throw ourselves in there. We get to know what the trade is. What do we have to do to make this thing a successful project? And then we pick out the ones that we're going to plug in there to do according to what we did in that 5-year period. And which is something I spoke with Gracie a little bit about when I hired her. I told Gracie, I said, Gracie, I'm just going to throw you in there. And, I hope that, that this is going to work. And she's been doing great. But she really, really has been there to take up some of the little things that I just don't have time to do.
Yeah. And having her help you out just because.
Yeah.
You might forget them. You might not remember them. So it might be just the little things.
So I think that the key to success is, you got to have your heart in it. And when you fear it, that's when you jump into it.
Okay.
That's the best time to jump into it. And just throw yourself into it 100%. You may not do a good job, but you know what? You don't know until you touch it.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's going to work out or not.
Exactly.
And it looks like it's working out for y'all.
Yeah.
And I also think sometimes I've seen some attorneys in the past where they, notice that you and Juan, change channels, whether he's working from Mexico.
Yeah.
You can go to Mexico and you can work on other things in Mexico at the same time. But knowing how to change it up a little bit, because I see some attorneys get run down. I've been to the courthouse sometimes. I look at them, I'm like, oh man, this guy just look beat.
You go through a burnout stage, and it's when you're going through that burnout stage to change that. I advise every friend lawyer that we have, you got to find that happy place.
Right.
And even if it's not by a beach, it might be out in the woods, in Colorado or, out skiing or whatever it is. But you got to make that a consistent process in your life because that's what's going to help you balance out and it's going to help you to re-energize and then come back and give your law firm 100%.
Yeah, because there are some attorneys that just look beat. When I look at you and Juan, you're always like, man, you're tan and you're smiling and you're having a good time and either you're here or there, but you're still doing something.
Yeah.
And when you say retirement, do you think you will retire? Or do you think because when you retire, it's like, well, because I know you love the law firm, you love that because that's your heart and soul.
That's our heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't, if I was there I was to retire from the law firm, I mean, who would handle it? Just like you would.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, see, I think that's what's been one of the issues this past year is that, when you step away from it, nobody's ever going to give it 100%.
Right.
Like you
like you and Juan would.
Yeah.
Right.
Grassroots marketing was always my big thing. It's very important to go and shake that person's hand that you're working with. It's not about going to happy hour or going to golf or going to Javier's to have a cigar. Right. It's about being in the grind. Mm-hmm. That's what grassroots marketing for Hernandez Law is what built that firm. And it was about being very sociable with the people you work with. Mm-hmm. Get to know who they are. Go to the clinic or go to the law firm and meet with them and discuss some of the things you need or the things that you want. And it's just a matter of just staying connected in your field, the people that your peers or whatever. So it's just my thought about grassroots marketing.
No, I think that's really.
And I have had some marketers that I've hired that have come in, and not going to say anything bad about them at all because they are good marketers. But to me, the key to a good marketing formula is being repetitive at everything you do. And don't be afraid to shake the hand of the devil every day because that's what you do. Yeah. And, you may have to bend over backwards for an account. Do it, but in a professional manner.
Right. That might be professional is important. Yeah. Don't bend over for anything else.
Exactly. So, to me, grassroots marketing has always been the key to it. And that's probably the one thing about millennials now. They don't, I'm not sure they really understand the importance of it.
Yeah, because shaking that hand and get to know people personally instead of just a phone call or something. Come out and visit you. Let's check, look at your chiropractic firm.
Yeah.
Tell me about you. Tell me about where are you from? Those type of things and learning about that.
I will say that in 25 years, I'm sure you could ask anybody in the industry. Juan has never been to any of those social events. Yeah. He just doesn't do it. So I tell lawyers, when you pop in at a social event and you're there the whole night, you're drinking, and you know what? It brings down, in my opinion, and there are a lot of good lawyers. I'm not here to bash anybody, but I will say that when you go in there and you spend more time doing that than versus going into the actual facility, that sort of thing. I believe the quality of service goes down.
Yeah,
I really do. Because as a lawyer, you went to law school to study, to protect people, to spend as much time as possible in your case. Hire a marketer. Let them go out there and do the work for you. Right. But be careful with the marketer you hire because there's a lot of bad ones out there.
Yeah. The marketing thing is I've seen some stuff on the internet where it's just bad.
It's
bad. It's gotten worse.
And I'll tell you what, that's why I say down south, Houston is coming into Dallas.
Yeah.
And my advice to the lawyers, watch who you got in that firm, monitor what you're doing, make sure that your marketer is actually working, not spending his whole day at the golf course or, out at happy hour all day long.
Or letting his assistant handle the whole case for you because, the attorney has to put their eyes on, not just sign the piece of paper at the end,
Yeah, because if that marketer's doing something they shouldn't be doing, guess whose license it is?
Yeah, it's going to fall back on the attorney. And a lot of people now, they're not afraid to put, whether they're going to give you a bad Google review or they're going to, complain to the bar against you. That means all kinds of ways you can if you feel like you're not being represented correctly.
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm sure I've left some feathers on this one, but I've always been an open book.
Honesty is the best way to go.
Honesty is the best way to go. Yeah.
All right, Clarabeth. So give us. Okay, we've mentioned Couture Beast, Hernandez Law Group, Mexico, some of the rental properties, Lone Star Mansion. So give us the websites for these people so that they know where to find them.
Okay.
In case they need to contact if they want a choice or maybe
Yes. Okay. So we have Hernandez Law, which is juanlaw.com or juanleyes.com. We also have I have Couture Beast, which is couturebeast.com.
Okay.
For 𝐂𝐞𝐿𝐴 in Playa, that is myalux.com, and then you just put in the property 𝐂𝐞𝐿𝐴. Or you can go into Maria Azul Resort in Playa del Carmen, and that will also give you the page. What other one? Am I missing anything?
No. Lone Star Mansion? Did you say that one?
LoneStarMansion.com.
Yes.
Yeah, the wedding venue.
Wedding venue.
Yeah. Don't worry about your budget, by the way.
She'll work with you.
We will work.
We'll make it happen. We'll make that special.
And my partner Fabiola, she's incredible. She actually does most of the work at Lone Star. You know, I just go in there, deal with the bride, or help with the decorating. Now, the one thing I do is decorating. So I can build an arch. I'm a wood girl.
She'll go in there and make it happen. And Clarabeth loves. I've seen some of her decorations, and they're amazing. It's nothing. She could probably sell those if you want to, on the site.
I love it.
Because it's a class act all the way through. All right, Clarabeth, thank you so much for being on our show today, and thanks for coming out, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being a part of Beyond Cheaters, the Detective Gomez Files, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to our show today, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank our sponsor, Juan Hernandez Law. You can visit them at juanlaw.com or contact them at 214-900-0000 to help me through an accident, and they can help you too. So contact them today.